Well, hello guys, I'm Pandu Naik. So, welcome to my channel. I'm going to discuss what are the syllabus for the UPSC exam, because if I can study UPSC exam, it is very easy to crack other exams also. So, if I see here, I wanted to start with a simple thing, because most of the students and most of the aspirants for the different competitive exams, they'll feel difficulty with the cracking the exams. So most of the things academic level is different as compared to the competitive level is different. In a competitive exams mostly will be important. If I discuss important thing is in a competitive exam, it is all about the smartness. It is all about your fastness. It is all about your problem solving skills. It is all about your the presence of mind, if I speak. So here most of the students whoever is doing good in all the academic level, but they are very they are not going to do, if I say they are very feeble in solving all the UPSC or all the competitive exams. So why this difference is coming? It's because the difference is, if I speak here, in an academic level, most of the students were the whatever the ways they are following to crack the exams is different. But in a competitive exams, the way is different. So they always confused with this one, and they will be failed in all their goals. So now I am going to help you out. What are the things we need to consider into our mind and in solving the civil service exams. So in a civil service exam, first thing I wanted to see is here, I wanted to first of all create a good awareness over the syllabus of a UPSC exam. So UPSC exam is India's preeminent, world's preeminent, if I say world's preeminent and most critical exam in the world itself. So you see why it is so critical, why it made critical. It's because civil service exam can be taken by all the different types of degree people. So here whoever is pursuing, whoever is completed MBBS, whoever is completed engineering, whoever is completed a normal degree or distant degree, everybody will be competing in this exam. That is why you see people who are preparing this one UPSC will give a critical exams only. So here first of all I am talking here most of the people. Let's suppose most of the stories, whoever is cracked, whoever is doing the job now, they will give a different ways, the different things they will give, the different factors they will give, but will always find a difficulty in approaching the exams. So in this video I am going to clear all these doubts and what are the things there in UPSC, what are the steps is involved in cracking the UPSC exam. I will discuss, and this channel I am going to promote, I am going to discuss, I am going to deal, because as I have already cleared this prelims means 2-3 times. The problem is I didn't go for the interview because I am not shortlisted for the interview. So I'll be, because this is 2020, within 2 or 3 years definitely I am going to become IAS officer. So that is my intention, that God will help me out to do that. So but I am also wanted to guide you people. So try to take all the lectures and follow my channel. So I will be discussing each and every topic in a clear manner. So first topic I am going to discuss is your syllabus. So syllabus, if I speak here, so in a UPSC 2020, if I speak, the syllabus is an important part. So with this syllabus, most of the exams also prepared. Like suppose if I talk any other exam, even SSC exam is next level. After the UPSC, the next stage, a little bit lower exam, if I say this UPSC, SSC. We have already bank exams, we have there is a state level exams also there. So everything will be based on the syllabus of UPSC only. So UPSC 2020, anyhow they have released it. So their syllabus is also important. So let's talk about the syllabus today. So what are the syllabus I need to discuss, and what are the stages are involved in the UPSC exam. So in a UPSC exam, so I will discuss the syllabus today. And first of all, UPSC exam I wanted to see UPSC exam stages you see. So UPSC exam or a civil service exam, if I want to crack it, then definitely it will have three different stages here. So the three different stages, if I speak here, one best stage is here. So preliminary stage, preliminary exam I can say, or preliminary exam or prelims we say. Next one is mains exam we have. Next, if I say interview is also important. So all these three exams we have. So each exam, if I see, this is 400 marks, consists of 400 marks. This is consist of 1725, I think. This is consist of, if I say I'm not wrong, that is it is have a 1725, yes, I guess that's correct. So mains is a 1750 marks we have, and this will have almost 275 marks. So total, if I speak this civil service exam, civils you say, civil service exam is 2025 marks it will consist. This is the mark scenario for it. So if I speak here, if I go into the deeper manner, so here if I wanted to crack the UPSC exam, I need to go to the all these three stages, then I will be getting a job. So first of all, don't feel something bad here. I don't feel any fearness here. I don't feel anything. You just keep focused on the syllabus. So once or twice, if you are completed studying the syllabus, it is easy to crack any exam. So first of all, if you have awareness on the syllabus, it will improve your confidence, it will improve your confidence level, and it will make you faster in exams. So it also gives you shortcuts. So once if I speak here, once if I complete the syllabus, my confidence level will be increased, as well as my shortcuts also increases. So in this channel, I am going to discuss first syllabus, then after I will discuss different shortcuts in cracking the UPSC exam, which basically important one is your prelims as well as mains. So I will discuss each and every topic in a clear-cut manner. So do focus on my classes, and will be doing it in a great manner. So let's start. So let's talk about a prelim syllabus, then I will talk about a main syllabus, then I will talk about a interview. Okay. So let's talk about the prelims. So prelims is here. So first of all, I am talking here. So few things I wanted to discuss. Once if you become a civil service officer, you will be having a lot power. You will be the boss for the district. You will be the boss in making a decision. You will be the boss for in a development. You are the key role. You are going to play a key role in development of India, nation, state, everything. So that is why this job has so much criticalness, as well as it has a basic level and basic standards we need to follow, that he should have awareness, because anybody if they cracks the exam, they can be placed all over the India or away from the India also, out abroad also they will go and serve. So there is IFS also there. I can say, if I speak here, Indian Foreign Services also there. In the Indian Foreign Services, there also the people will serve with the same standard. So here, getting awareness, I am not talking about a perfectness. You should be getting awareness. So whatever I speak, whatever the syllabus I speak, you should have a proper awareness. Awareness is different and learning is different. Awareness means you should know a boundary of it. Okay. So let's discuss something about the syllabus here. So let's talk about the syllabus, prelim syllabus. So prelim syllabus. So let's see here, prelims. Prelims are preliminary exam we call. Okay, both are same only. Prelims exam, I told you already, this consists of 400 marks. So as I told you, this is like a prelims exam. In a general, if I say prelims exam is a ticket to see a movie. Generally, people who are already serving, if you go and interact with them, they'll definitely say prelims exam is a ticket to see movie. So it's simple. Prelims is like a buying a ticket, mains is like allotting a seat, and interview is like a watching the movie. So to do this thing, first you need to buy a ticket. So you need to go through the syllabus of a preliminary. That is important. Let's talk about the syllabus of it. So first syllabus here, this 400 marks is segregated into two terms. One is once if I say general studies. General studies. So here general studies. So general studies is consist of 200 marks. General studies is consist of 200 marks. So here starts the problem. Whenever the name itself general study it comes, no, definitely people start behaving in a rude manner. Why? Because general studies is something different. General studies, so it is like a different world they will think, but it is very easy. As per me, it is very easy. Why? Because we have to learn about the thing around us, thing around us, thing around our village, thing around our mandal, thing around our district, thing around our state and nation and world. So here to do that, best thing to watch these events is newspapers. So I am going to discuss how to study this one and what are the syllabus you need to adapt. I am going to tell you. So now here current events. What are the current events? What are the events? So what are the current events are going on? Let's suppose in India the IPL is the biggest event. So that event is going on. Which team won? Which team is lost? That is important. So what are like that, even a pro kabaddi league is also going on. Like that there is so many seminars, summits also going on in India. There is some people will visit India, or some industrialization is also happen, some technology is also happen, some innovations will also happen, some political changes, some policies were changes, or some laws also change. So different things can happen. Those events you should be taking care into your mind. So to do that, you need to be following the everyday's news. But don't watch a biased news. You have to follow a standardized news. Whatever the important things, whatever the important events are there, you should note it down. At least you should maintain a separate notes, a concise notes. So you should not write in an elaborated manner. You should not say that a notes to be written elaborately like answer. It is not like that. So you should make a shortcut notes. Example, it's your own notes you have to prepare for the current events. So what is that current events? Let's suppose somebody, example, in a match, let's suppose if I take a IPL match, in an IPL match, Chris Gayle has beaten 179 in one match, he has done that. So nobody is going to do that much runs in one 2020 match. So that's kind of event, in this particular event, Chris Gayle has done this thing. So you should prepare it. Let's suppose some summit is going on, some kind of, if I say generalisms, some innovative science expo is going on. So what are the expo's main thing? What is the revenue they have got? What are the current important things? Those things you should be maintaining yourselves. So current events are important. Next, the current events of national, state. So national is important, state also important, and international also important. So current events. So that event can be anything. So nowadays we have known that a corona event. Why? Because we know in a WHO, the Tedros is giving every day some kind of a update. So those updates you should follow. So certain updates can be there. So something like nowadays one more fellow, a biggest billionaire, Tesla company, you might be knowing, a car company. There that fellow is giving some statement. I wanted to change my companies from the California to somewhere. So it means those kind of events were important. So who is Tesla? What is important? So those things I am telling you anything they can ask. So current events, definitely from the current events, at least of 5 to 10 marks, 5 to 6 questions will ask. So you should be taking care of it. Next, as if I speak, a current event is first point, first one if I discuss. Second one, an easy one I can say. Second, easy and important, history. History of India, history of national as international history, and one more thing you should write, Indian national movement. History of India, because you are writing India, I wanted to become IPS officer of India, then history of India is important. Next, Indian movement also important, because we were ruled by so many nations, because we were ruled by Muslim nation, we have ruled by some different English nations. So we know Britishers, we ruled Arab, ruled our country. Many things were happened. So those movements also important. So basically, most of us, what we do. So we will be remembering few important movements only. Let's example, most of the students. They will be talking more about the moments of important moments. Let's suppose if I talk Jallianwala Bagh. So Jallianwala Bagh is one of the important movement, important thing happened in one of the cruelest thing happened in the history, if I speak. So most of the people will have awareness on it. But something also there. Some people were already did movement as the Indians, not only in India, in other nation also they have done movement. So most of the people they will not study in all our classes. We will be studying only few moments, whichever is happened in India. So some different things are happening. Let's suppose if I talk our Vivekananda. Vivekananda has also given us certain movements. It is we cannot say that one certain movement only got helped us to get independence. Not, we should not say. To get independence, so many movements were happened in India, and we got independence. So such movements, those struggles were very important. So everybody should know about this struggle. So these movements you have to take any standard books and you have to study it. Next, I wanted to speak about the third important thing here. Third important thing you should see. The third important one is Indian policy. So here, Indian polity is important. Indian polity. So Indian polity, everybody you should remember, Indian polity will not change. So you should be standardized. So everybody should take a standard book of any standard book you can follow. It is not that this book only you should follow. It's not like that. You can follow any standard book that gives you full awareness on the polity of India. Next, you should also be talking about here in this Indian polity. You want to discuss many things. So you should talk about a constitution. So you are talking about a constitution, public policy. Public policy will talk. You will also talk about Panchayat Raj, rights. Rights you are going to talk. Panchayat Raj you also will talk. You will also talk about issues, certain issues, articles, etc. So those things will be covered in a Indian polity. So take any standard book of Indian polity and start reading it and get. So I'm talking here one simple thing. Anything you study, because this polity, history, and everything will be in a big manner. So you should concise it. You should reduce its size, and you have to study it. Next, fourth important thing in GS I have to talk about here, world geography. Geography of India as well as world you should study. So here, so I'm talking here, fourth here, Indian geography. Indian geography. So in Indian geography, you have to start talking about physical changes, or else second one, economical you can talk about here. Anything, economics also you can start, and you also study the geography of world as well as India. So everything you should talk about here. So in a geography, you can expect at least of 4 marks. So you should be very careful and while studying these things, and you should talk more and more. You should learn about the geography. Next fifth one in the same thing. If I talk here, one more important one in general studies, economics and social development also important here. So here I am discussed here economic and development, economic and social development. Sorry. So economic and social development. Economic and social development is also one more important topic in a general study. So you should study economics. You should study economics. You should not talk about it. You should not become a total economist here. We are going to talk a few things, a few awareness, a basic awareness you should study. For it is enough for the prelims exam. Next you should talk one more thing. General issues you have to talk. So general issues. You know already. You should talk about a pollution, which means environment. You can talk. You can talk of poverty, inclusion. You can talk about the law, rule, everything. So these different general issues also you can talk. Next environment, or you can see any different things, like if I say poverty, how poverty will change, what are the schemes schemes is followed by the government, what are the governance, good governance, everything you should study in a general issues. So you see in a economical social, you can say at least if I say 2 or 3 marks will come, but in a general issues you can expect 7 to 9 questions will come from the general issues. So 7 to 9 definitely you can cross check, or else you can see any standard studies of marks that which are coming, the marks weightage from the various topic. So I have already seen that. So general issues definitely they are getting more marks, because the people who are becoming the IAS officer is always dealing with the general issues only. Okay, so general issues were very important and very important. I'm speaking here, general issues are very important. It can increase, the weightage can be increased day by day, means every year the weightage was increased in this issue. So you can make a star mark here for the general issues. Next if I say here, so next important thing here, next important questions here, which is the general subjects also important, which is 7th one I am discussing here. General subjects also important here. So you see the subjects which are from the 6 to 10 from the NCERT, because NCERT has, it is a CBSE, they are following NCERT books. So in this one almost 6 to 10 standards. So in this one we have physics, chemistry, and maths. Also they ask not ask. Physics, chemistry, biology they can ask. They can ask social science. They will ask. Okay, they can ask anything. So even from this one also you can at least I'm telling 10 questions will come from the general subject. So people who are ready to whoever is preparing for the this prelims exam, they should go through all these subjects. Okay. Next, so this will all have 200 marks. I spoke here. So GS. So this exam to write a prelims, GS is important one. So GS has 200 marks. So 200 marks and 100 questions are there. This is the marks. And these are the questions we have. So in this one, questions means each question you will be having, each questions you will get almost of 2 marks. If you write correct, 2 marks you will get. If you write wrong, then you will be reduced. 0.66 marks will be reduced from your correct answers. So this is very important. So GS1 is okay. And next Next I will talk CSAT exam. So which is second exam in a preliminary. So here, so second exam in a preliminary, two exams will be there. One more exam is CSAT exam. So CSAT exam is, you can say, Civil Service Aptitude Test. This is also called as a Civil Service Aptitude Test, I can say. Civil Service Aptitude Test. Civil Service Aptitude Test also important one. So you can say, if you are preparing for a bank exam, then you can clear this Civil Service Aptitude Test. Because in this one, you will be having a comprehension, which means English you will have. English. So in English they can ask comprehension, English syllabus, you can say comprehension, the basic standard syllabus you can follow from the bank syllabus. But bank will go into the lot deeper thing. But here it will be liberal syllabus only they will follow. So from the English, we will have a comprehensions, we have a interpretation now, interpretation and including the communication skills we have. So communication skills, your skills are also important because it consists of grammar. So grammar is important here. Grammar as well as your standard, your whatever the vocabulary skill, if I say. So vocabulary skill they will ask. So you can get English questions as well as you can get general other things. You have aptitude. So generally other things you can say logical reasoning. So here aptitude questions you can get. So aptitude questions I am telling you. You have a standard aptitude topics you have. So you have to prepare those 20 standard aptitude questions, because in the upcoming videos I am going to discuss all the standard aptitude questions, standard aptitude syllabus for the UPSC as well as all the type of competitive exams. Next, reasoning also they will ask. So reasoning standard topics they will ask. So every year they cannot say that this particular question come from this topic. They will not be saying from the UPSC. They will not say like that. But you remember, anything will come. Any question come from any topic. So standard topics you need to prepare for the aptitude, and standard topics from the reasoning also you should prepare. So with this one, your prelims syllabus will be over. So once or twice if you complete the civil service prelims syllabus, then definitely your confidence level will be raised. So as I told you here, once the prelims exam syllabus if you have completed, your standard is also rises, as well as your confidence over the different topics, confidence over the different syllabus will be raised. So once it is, if your standard is raised, then definitely your confidence level will be more, then you can easily crack the prelims. So prelims, for getting a prelims 400 marks will be there. So at least you should make it till 350 marks. So at least of 300 to 350 means at least of you should target in between the marks, so that your first prelims exam will be cleared. Or sometimes it is getting into 300 to 350, it's very difficult, but at least so most of the people will be targeted from 280 marks to 300. So at least if you could reach to this particular domain, then definitely this particular range, then definitely you are cracked the prelims exam. So myself, I got 291 marks in the prelims. So I have cleared it based on my standard, because as I prepared, I didn't prepare much, I didn't utilize, I have prepared only of 3 to 4 hours to get this score 291. If you could increase like 5 hours or 6 hours, definitely it will be reflecting, it will be goes to the next level. So prelims marks are also important for the selection. So as for the selection, if you wanted to select for it, definitely prelims exam marks also they will take into consideration. But mostly this prelims marks will be taken into consideration while shortlisting in writing the mains exam. So you should at least go to the 300 and above, you should cover it. So it will be going for the mains. So, but mostly I got because I had 391 score in 2016 I have cleared it, so I got 291 and I wrote mains exams also. Okay, so what my expectation is that you should always be having a good awareness on the syllabus. Once if you have awareness, definitely you will be clearing the prelims exam with the ease. Next, I am discussing about mains here. So mains is also important, and once mains is completed, then your almost 90% job is over. So prelims, once if it is completed, means 30% of your job is over. You can feel like that. So let's talk about mains. Mains is little bit difficult exam, a lot difficult exam, and having a good marks, you see 700, 1750 marks. 1750 marks were there for the mains exam. So in a mains exam, we'll have 9 papers. So 9 papers we'll have. So 9 papers were important. So in this 9 papers, no need to worry. You will be having 2 language papers. In a 9 papers, you should write 2 language papers. So any language you can take. So first language you can, it's your optional language. So optional, you can study anything, but second language is you should go with the English. English is the next important language, because you are going to, in the 9 papers, 2 paper I have already told you here. One is optional language, second is the English language. So optional language, you can choose any language. You have to write a optional language. Many people will take their own mother tongue, so you can take any language, it's your wish. So because optional language, most of the people have a doubt over the optional language I should choose. So optional language, I will prefer your mother tongue, because mostly people from the 1st standard to 10th standard, they will study their mother tongue language. So if you could write, let's suppose my mother tongue is Telugu. So if I study Telugu language, if it is my optional language, then I can go with the optional language. Okay. Second one is English I should choose. So these 2 language, if I speak, these 2 language will have 300 marks, and I should qualify it. Okay. So let's talk about this one. So you know already 9 papers I wrote. Okay. So let's talk about these languages first. So as I told you here, 9 papers. So 9 papers you should write. In that 9 papers, 2 papers are language papers. So these 2 language papers. So 2 papers you should write. These are language paper, you can say. These are languages. Okay. So what are those languages here? One is your optional language. So you can take Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, any language from Indian Constitution. 8th, we have already one Constitution amendment also there here. 8th schedule of Indian Constituency. So which is article number 341 and 348. They were given a big exposure over the second language, so 2 papers. So any language you can choose, you can write in there. So you can write Hindi. So the one paper 1 you can write Hindi, you can write or English or Tamil you can take, or you can take Marathi you can take, or you can take Telugu or Konkani, anything. That is your etc. Anything you can take. Any language you have to write. But second one is compulsory language is English. So Malayalam also. Anything. Here Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Marathi, Konkani, Munga, anything. You can take any language. And second one is English language is compulsory. Here one more thing here, while writing a mains exam, I am telling you this is a descriptive type exam. Will have a descriptive type exam. You should write in terms of descriptive. As I speak here, preliminary exam is totally objective type, but mains is a descriptive type. So descriptive is very important. So each one you should carry at least of 30% of mark. You should carry, then only you will be qualifying. So 9 papers you should be writing. So at least so in second papers most of the people will feel that. So here Hindi, this language, any language you can choose, and second one you can choose. You have to choose because it's a compulsory one. English is a compulsory language for the second paper. Okay, so in these languages, so what are the things they will discuss here? You see here, so how these marks will be segregated, because this will be given for at least of a 300 marks. So language papers, these two papers will be, I am telling you, each one will have a 300 marks. Okay, so I see here how this will be happen. So each language I say almost of 600 marks I say, but two papers is round of 600 marks for languages only. So here, as from this 1750 marks, 600 marks from the languages only. Okay, let's talk about first language here. So in language studying, what are they are going to give? The type of question they will ask. So types of questions you say. So because you can choose any paper, first and second paper, both will be given in a same manner. So first one is essay. Essay they will give it for 100 marks. You should present your essay in a good manner. So it is 100 marks they will give. Second one is reading comprehension RC. They will give almost of 60 marks for it. Next, one more thing here. You should study here translation. So precision writing. So you know already, as I told you, we have a big article. From that big article, you should maintain a group of important points. So that they will also give. So almost 60 marks for that one also they will give. So this is a precision writing we can write. Precision writing. So in a precision writing, 60 marks also they will give. And next, there is also important thing here, translation. So as this one is happened, next I should see basic grammars. Okay, grammar also important because basic grammar also they will ask. At least of 40 marks they have. So at least 40 marks they have. So now the remaining 20 marks. 20 marks here translation you should need. So translation that will be asked. So translation, because we have a third language also here, Hindi also, but this Hindi also you should know. So at least the 20 marks will be asked for the translation of that language. So how many here? So at least so each question, each paper will have a 300 mark. So you should prepare for the essay, you should prepare for the reading comprehension, you should prepare for the precision writing. From the different article you should precise it, means concise it. You have to make it from big matter to smaller matter. Next, grammar you have weightage. So next, translation. So total weightage you have discussed. So this weightage is according to the UPSC standard only. So every time they will ask in the same manner. Okay. And next, as I spoken, this is about 2020. This is an updated one. So 2020 wise, essay is 100, RC is 60, precision is 60. And grammar is 40, and remaining translation of language which is 20. Okay. Next, this is about languages here, and most important thing I am telling you here, if you want to get into this civil service exam, you should compulsory pass these two languages, definitely. So at least of I am speaking here 25% to 30% marks should come by clearing these two languages. So in English also at least 30% marks you should cover. So at least 30% means how much here? So 300 into 25% if I speak here, 2500 by 100 if I speak, at least of 75 marks you should get into English as well as your mother tongue. Or else if I say take a 30% here, then at least of 90 marks. At least of 90 marks. This is a strategy, buddy. So at least you should in a paper 1 as well as in a language paper, at least of 75 to 90 marks you should score, so that you will be considered. You will be, even though if you pass all the 7 papers, if you are not getting 75 to 90 marks, at least 90 marks if I speak. If you are not getting into languages, then definitely you are not considered, and you will not be shortlisted for the further selection process. So you should always take care. at least of 90 marks you should maintain for the languages. That's a basic at least. Next, as I speak, next 7 papers I will speak here about the next 7 papers here. So next 7 papers, next 7 papers, each one I will discuss in detail. Okay, anyhow 2 papers about a language I have discussed. Now talk about the paper 1 here. In that paper 1, what is this one? Paper 1 is all about essay, totally essay. So this essay, you can choose any medium. You can choose either that is whatever the medium you are standing, whatever the medium you can do well, you can choose those medium. So while you are in a mains, when you are filling the form only, they'll ask what kind of medium you will choose. So that medium only. Even if you have chosen English, then you have to write in English. If you have chosen into other language, you have to write in other language. So this is your medium of your choice. So medium of candidate choice. So medium of choice is this one. So any language, in any language you can write the essay. Any language, okay. So that is about a paper 1. So each paper here will consist of 250 marks. Each paper. I am talking any paper here, that will consist of 250 marks. And as I told you here, at least of 30% marks you should cover. Next, that will 30% means you are qualified for that paper. Okay. Next, paper 2. So paper 2 is a GS. So GS1, this is paper 2. Here GS1. So here GS1 means there will be specified domains only. The questions will come from the specified domains. If I speak different things you have. So GS, if you are talking, then there GS1 will be specified for the certain domains. What are the domain you see here? So they will asking here Indian heritage and culture. So Indian heritage and culture. Next, history and geography here. History and geography of India will last in a GS1. So as I speak here, general studies of what? The specific domain, Indian heritage and culture. Next, history and geography. Next paper, this is also 250 marks. Each one is 250. So these are 2 papers. Next paper you see here. So next 3rd paper I am discussing here. Paper 3rd. So paper 3rd you see. Paper 3rd is general science 2nd. So GS 2nd you can say. In a GS 2nd, they will be talking about a few important things here. What they are going to talk. So specific domain question they will ask. So which is a governance, constituent polity. So here polity also they will ask. Next we say constitution they will ask. Governance, constitution and social justice, international relations, social justice also, social justice, international relation, India and international relation. So relation. So if you are talking about this one, I am talking here general science 2nd. So this you have to prepare for the 2nd paper, 3rd paper. Next paper 4, if I speak here. So paper 4 is also general science only, general science or general studies generally they will speak. So here paper 4 also I am speaking. So paper 4 is also GS3 we say, general studies 3rd paper. In the general studies 3rd paper, they will discuss in this question what type of question they will ask. So they will asking about technology. Next they will asking about economic. Next development, economic sustainable development they will ask. Biodiversity, security, what type of security? Forces, technology, we have military, army, or everything can be asked in a GS third. What are the innovation things? What are the policies we have done for the these things? They'll ask, and they'll also ask disaster management, disaster management. So management, etc. will be asked in a GS 3. So this is a paper 4 for you. Next, in this I told you what are the important technology, what is the economic development, what is the social justice, what are the disaster management we have followed, and what are the things happened in past few years. So everything is important. Okay. Next, as I speak here, one more paper you need to go through it. One more paper is paper 5. So paper 5 we should see, which is a GS4. GS4, this is GS4 paper. So GS4th paper is talking about it's very simple one. It's simple. Why? Because it will have ethics, ethical knowledge, human ethical knowledge. They will ask integrity. They will ask integrity, and aptitude also they will ask. Sometimes they will ask aptitude also asked in this paper. So aptitudes we have already standard aptitude. If you are prepared for the prelims, you can utilize the same knowledge over here. Next one we have optional. These are till 5 subjects. Everybody have in a common thing they'll writing. But next important thing also happens here. That is a paper 6 onwards. So paper 6 and paper 7. Paper 6 and paper 7, these are optional subjects. Optional subjects. This is also optional subject. Optional subjects, okay. So here you always remember what are the optional subjects paper. This is a paper 1, you can say here optional subject paper 1 and optional subject paper 2. So generally why this optional subject papers they were asked? Because if you are an engineering graduate, let's suppose if you are from the mechanical engineering graduate, so you will be asked, you can choose any 2 subjects from your engineering standard and you can write those. Or else if you are a BSc student, if you are a regular degree student, you can take any 2 subjects, then you can write. So most of the people they will be taking their core subject, whichever the subject, even the mathematics, somebody takes economics, somebody takes even though if they are optional subject, even though they are engineering graduates, they will take a polity, they will take anything. They are almost we have almost 48 optional papers over there. So you have to choose any 2 optional papers, and at least you can have to get a 30% of marks for it, so that you can be qualified. So once these all papers, 9 papers as I spoke here, these 7 papers plus 2 languages, so 9 papers if you have qualified, then your mains level exam will be over. Next, this mains is totally descriptive type. So that is why, so the preparation, whatever the preparation you are making here, so you should note it down for the reference. So it is simple, buddy. So you have to follow it that even the matter is a big matter, you have to do it, concise it and make it smaller. From the smaller matter, you have to make it a bigger matter also while writing the essay. So that is the important one. So that is why you have to follow everyday's events and everyday's news also. Next one, after if you have completed the main successfully, then you will be shortlisted. If you are shortlisted, then you are going to see interview. So once interview is there, they are going to, in interview also they can, the panel people will be there here. So previously retired IAS officer, almost a panel of people they are there, and this panel of people they will be questioning you. They will be questioning you on a different areas. So different areas they can question, anything they can question. So in that questioning, this interviews consist of 275 marks. Okay, this interviews consist of 275 marks. So if you are done good in a interview, most of the people will do good in interview only, but most of the people due to their communication, due to their lack of the confidence, they'll be failed at the interview. So this is an important stage. Once if you are clear the interview, then you will be getting any of the job. So if you are a merit student, if you get a good marks, so as I told you, 25 marks means 2025 marks. If you from there, if you are crossing a good marks, if you have done good in interview, then definitely you will be placed as a IAS officer. So once the IAS officer is there, so in interview, let's talk about a few things about interview. So they will be talking about awareness. So whatever you study from the starting onwards, because IAS civil service exams you cannot crack in 1 year or 2 years. It can take many years. At least of people will take 6 years, 7 years, 10 years also they will prepare for it. So it is all about awareness. So you should have a good awareness over the different topics, different events and different views and different, even you have to make a decision over it. So that thing also there. So they can have an interview process, they can conduct different things they will do. So panel people, they will ask the question, they will conduct the test also, they can do the group discussion also they can make, or anything they can do, that will not discuss here. So which is whenever you face the interview, that time they can do anything. So interview skills also important. So before you go for an interview, you have to have a good communication skill as well as at least of a 10 mark interview you should do it. Next awareness you should have. Similarly, and all the whatever the things you have studied for previous thing, you should always revise. Revision is the best important thing. So they will ask you anything from these patterns. Okay, once if you have completed all these stages, next you will be shortlisted process is there. If the shortlisting, in the shortlisting your name, if it is name is there, then you will become one of the IAS officer or IPS or IFS. Any officer, any civil service job will be worth for your standard, worth for your hard work. So at least I am telling you, in this, to cover all this syllabus, so you should at least spend at least of I am telling you at least 5 hours. A serious study is required for the completing of this syllabus. So do follow my channel, because along with me, even I am also preparing, you can also prepare with me. So I'll definitely give a shortcuts to crack everything, to crack each prelims, mains as well as interviews also. So do follow my channel, subscribe it, and I'll be catching in the further videos. Thank you all.